In this video, I'm going to give you a basic overview of the video production workflow. Now, you might already have a pretty good handle on that, so I'm not going to go into too many details here. What I want to do is set up some other tutorials in this section where I discuss the production workflow in some more detail. And then throughout the rest of the course, I'll deal with the specifics of all the various production techniques that you can use inside Premiere Pro. But the next tutorials coming up following this will cover things like, what is a nonlinear editor? I'll give you some shooting tips. I'll explain how you bring assets into your computer and into Premiere Pro. We'll go over what editing video is all about and then talk about how you can share your projects, how you can export your projects. So the first order of business is to understand what nonlinear video editing is. Premiere Pro is a nonlinear editor, and I'm going to explain that in more detail in the next tutorial, but basically what this means is you don't have to edit things the way you used to do it with tape. You don't have to go sequentially. You can do them in any order you want, and you can rearrange things. It's just a great way to edit and really simplifies things from the old days of tape. So the first order of business in your nonlinear video editing process is to do something you would have done whether it was nonlinear or not, and that is to shoot the original raw video footage. Typically, when you do that, you create files that are stored on like flash cards or hard drive or DVD, or you can shoot that onto tape. In any event, you need to get that video into your computer. If it's file-based, which is really the main thing that people do these days and really the best way to go about it, you simply move those files to the computer. It's fairly easy to do that. If you shot the tape, then you need to do what's called capturing from the tape and then converting it to files. You do that from within Premiere Pro. You basically just play the tape into your computer, and Premiere Pro converts it to a file type that it can then play inside Premiere Pro. Once that's done, you then create links to the assets from within Premiere Pro. If you capture, those links are created automatically. If you move files to the computer, you need to go out there and import those files, as it's called, into Premiere Pro. You're not actually moving them, you're just creating links to those files. Once you've got those files linked inside Premiere Pro, you start doing editing. And the editing involves several things. You take clips and put them on a timeline or a sequence, as it's called inside Premiere Pro. You can add them and arrange them, move them around, and then you can trim them. You might want to have let's say just a 10-second soundbite from a 10-minute interview. So you trim away all the stuff you don't need and just use that little 10-second portion. Then you can add transitions between clips. You can put effects on clips, add titles like text, sometimes called supers, put in graphics, images, audio. All sorts of things go on when you do the editing. This is the whole process. When you're done editing the clips, you then export it or share your edited, finished project. This is the important thing. People cannot see your project when it's inside Premiere Pro unless they've got Premiere Pro too. So you need to create some kind of a file that they can then see on their computers or whatever kind of hardware device they're looking at, or online, for example. So that's the basic video production workflow. We're going to go into some generic details in the upcoming tutorials and then dive down deep into the specifics as we move through the course.